Hi, my name is Matthew Rocca. I am the writer, director, and one of the producers of the upcoming feature-length film, Neighborhood Watch. Neighborhood Watch is a passion project that has been years in the making. It's finally here right now. 2021 is the best time to tell this story. It's about this group of kids that has discovered the KKK exists in their seemingly idyllic suburban neighborhood. And they decide, if the KKK exists here, if costumed villains exist in real life, why not costumed heroes? So they actually become vigilantes and go out there and try to defeat racism through comic book means. So it's really a comic book movie, but it questions what would happen if this happened in real life. What would the real life ramifications of being a superhero be in 2021? My role in bringing this story to life is that I wrote the script. It's been very near and dear to my heart, the characters and the story of this entire world. It's my big passion project. I'll be directing the film as well, and I've been helping on the producing side of things right now as we're gearing up with film financiers. We've got Matt Stoner as our producer, Jaron Hall as co-producer, and Jay Powell as creative producer, and also our social media manager as well. So one of the things that has made it such an interesting process, putting pen to paper and then later on seeing my films come to fruition, is that I have an idea that taps into what I think feels like a plausible, realistic story in today's society. But I don't fully realize just how relevant it's going to be until later on when I actually film the movie, or sometimes even after the movie is filmed, something really strikes me as, oh wow, that's exactly like what we just did in the film. We're super excited to bring this movie to you on actual celluloid, on actual film rather than digital. And the reason for that is because digital is incredible. There's so many things that the digital revolution has done for filmmakers, but for the purposes of the aesthetic of this film and the story that we want to tell, I've always just felt that shooting on film, on actual Super 16mm film as we shot the trailer, is the best way to go, because it really gives this sort of timeless feeling to the entire aesthetic, to the entire style. And what's interesting about that to me as an artist is that the story deals with very timely current events, very timely issues. But shooting it on a format that is timeless actually helps to preserve the quality of the story, where you can watch this movie not just now and think about the issues we're dealing with, but you can watch it 20 years later and you can see it in a whole different way. So we've got four main heroes of the story. It's kind of an ensemble piece to an extent. Graham, he is the character who really is the idealist. He is a character I can identify with a lot. A lot of him is based off of my own thoughts and ideas, especially when I was growing up and his age. All the characters are about 18 years old. Graham is a guy who has aspirations of being a filmmaker and an actor and doing a lot through fiction. And he's the guy who rallies the troops and decides that fiction could actually become a reality, that superheroes could exist in real life, and all it takes is a little imagination. Stacy is the social justice warrior. She is the activist. Stacy is the friend that our fish out of water, just graduated from high school kids meet when they're at college. And she is actively taking a stand against the hate crimes happening in the community. The KKK actually comes to their college campus, and she's the one to protest them and say, hey, get off our campus. We know what you did. You're committing these crimes. You haven't been caught for it yet, but we're going to catch you. And that's why our heroes say, hey, you would be the perfect candidate to help us in our quest to stop racism. Nathaniel is Graham's best friend in the story, and Nathaniel and Graham both grew up in this nice, idyllic suburb together. But they both came from, although they came from similar backgrounds there, they both have different skin colors. Graham is white, Nathaniel is black. And they have never seen the world in black, white, any kind of skin color whatsoever. They've just grown up as best friends, but lately Nathaniel has been dealing with the KKK hate crimes in a very different way. He's actually been personally attacked, and he has personal reasons for becoming a vigilante in this fight. Gwen is the confidant of Graham and Nathaniel. She's grown up with them in their suburb their whole life, and she's the costume designer, basically. They come to her when they say, hey, we have this idea for becoming superheroes in real life, and the irony is that there's a sort of meta with movie within a movie. She's been designing the costumes for the kids' movies their whole life as they've been growing up together, and now they're saying, hey, it's not just a movie anymore, we want to do this for real. Can you design our superhero costumes and props and weapons in real life? And she tells them, hey, your idea is suicidal, your idea is crazy, count me in. The Grand Giant, he is the leader of the KKK, he is the antagonist in the story, and what makes him so dangerous is not just the fact that, I mean, obviously he's the KKK leader, but the fact that he understands how to tap into pre-existing hatred or pre-existing biases that may exist in the town, and he's able to bring out those elements by scaring the community into thinking that it's minorities committing these crimes in the town, and sort of able to recruit people for his twisted ideological cause. Finally, rounding out our ensemble cast is a character known throughout the script as the Professor. This guy is the eccentric mentor figure of the story. He comes at just the right time for our two heroes, Graham and Nathaniel. When they are on their college campus for the first time, they're seeing that the KKK is getting away with their crimes. They question, how are these guys getting away with it? And they meet this wise, older professor character who teaches literature. And he also has a big comic book, framed comic book, in his office. And he talks about how comic books are actually great American literature. And he muses that the comic book tales are actually foretelling what is happening in America today. And he questions, if costumed villains exist in real life, then where are all the heroes? And that's what sets the spark for our heroes to decide, hey, we could do this in real life. The film has had a very interesting and exciting trajectory with the actual production and pre-production elements and the funding, all those different elements to come together to make a movie. When we started this project out, I had just made a feature-length film for about $7,000. Very, very low budget by Hollywood standards. Very low budget, shoestring horror movie called Bullets, Fangs, and Dinner at 8. So that's my background. I come from a very low budget filmmaking background, and I said to my producer, Matt Stoner, who read the script in 2018, and he was so excited. He said it was one of the most exciting scripts he had ever read. And I said to him, well, what do you think? What's our projected budget? I think we could pull this off for $30,000. And Matt was like, no, man, hold off. We can get a real budget for this. So here we are, these years later, we've been working on getting a real budget. And I told Matt throughout the years, I was ready to just say, hey, let's do it for $30,000 for a really low budget. He said, no, just wait. The timing's got to be right. And now the timing is right. The issues and the themes that we're dealing with are so relevant to today's time. And now we are at a point where we're looking at major financiers in the independent film industry who project the budget at $10 million because they think that the script warrants A-list actors and talent, that we can actually put this thing together, and it would be a film that would have mass appeal on Netflix and various different streaming services. So from $7,000 to $30,000 to, hey, this could be at $10 million. That's the level that we're dealing with now, which is so exciting. And that's why we started a Indiegogo crowdfunding campaign to bring in the startup funds, 10,000, just get us going, get our foot through the door at these major companies. Join us on Instagram at Neighborhood Watch Movie. Again, that's at Neighborhood Watch Movie. Come and be a part of this movie event. Join the watch. There will be a link in the description below. Go ahead and tap that, and you will be able to see our trailer and Indiegogo site for the film. The trailer is very exciting because my crew and I shot this on Super 16mm, the way that we intend the entire feature to be shot, and we shot it before the movie has actually been made. So we shot it as our way to show you a little taste of what the movie is going to be like. So we hope that you enjoy. Please tap the link below to check out our trailer, to check out our Indiegogo site, and to see all the information for how you can be a part of our campaign to turn this film into a feature, to make this into a reality. Thank you.